Thank you for attending the public hearing of the Committee on Local Government, joined with the Committees on Public Services, Agriculture, Agrarian Farm, and Finance. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Bongo is online. No? Thank you very much, Senator Bongo, for joining us today. Hopefully, some other senators kasi sabay-sabay yung mga hearings ngayon. May importante, mga Blue Ribbon, may Foreign Relations. So, apologize for being a little bit late. So, we already have a quorum, declare the presence of a quorum with Senator Bongo's presence online. Hopefully, some senators will also come later. So, now we call Attorney Andre Mortel, our committee secretary, to acknowledge the presence of our resource persons present today.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Mapagpalang umaga po sa ating lahat. Let us begin by doing our attendance roll call. The Department of Interior and Local Government, we have virtually attending Attorney Leo Angelo Mingito, Attorney 3. From the Department of Agriculture, we have Director Gerald Glenn F. Panganiban attending virtually. We also have Director Rosana Mula attending virtually. We have Senior Agriculturist Ms. Nemelin Pangilinan attending virtually. And we have from the Bureau of Plant Industry, Mr. Glenn Panganiban attending virtually. From the Department of Education, we have Officer in Charge, Mr. Robin James Canha attending virtually. From the Department of Science and Technology, we have Dr. Domingo Angeles attending virtually. Dr. Jose Bienvenido Bayona attending virtually. Mr. Robert O. Dizon attending virtually. From the Department of Budget and Management, we have Director Perpetual Judea Quezon attending virtually. Ms. Rowena M. Marte attending virtually. Ms. Mary Ann Rico Hermoso attending virtually. Officer in Charge, Ms. Gemma Ilagan attending virtually. From the Department of Finance, we have Mr. Kenneth L. Balseta and Ms. Jean Ginto attending virtually. From the Department of Transportation, all attending virtually, Mr. Limar Jimenez, and Ms. Gina Zapata. From the Department of Public Works and Highways, physically with us today, Mr. Chairman, Engineer Eric A. Ayapana, Assistant Secretary for Technical. We also have Attorney Alvin Demiar from the Legal Service. From the National Economic Development Authority, or NEDA, all attending virtually, Ms. Jane Desiree F. Andal, Ms. Mary Faye Lagmay, Mr. Rodolfo De Gracia Jr., Ms. Crisel Santos, Ms. Mary Grace Lapurga. From the Liga ng mga Barangay, physically with us this morning, the Honorable Eden C. Pineda, the National President, ma'am, good morning, and Mr. Rustan Castillanes, Regional President for Region 11. Good morning, sir. For the League of Cities, attending virtually is Ms. Maria Veronica Hitosis. From the Philippine Councilors League, both virtually, Councilor Handy Lau, National President, and Ms. Gina Perez. From the Vice Mayor's League of the Philippines, physically with us this morning, sir, is Honorable Dean Anthony G. Domalanta, Interim National President. That is all, Mr. Chairman. Good morning.
Thank you, Comsec. This juncture, please allow today we will be hearing the following bills on food security: Senate Bill number 395, an act mandating the establishment of vegetable crop gardens for indigents, appropriate funds therefore and for other purposes. Authored by yours truly. And on local transport, Senate Bill number 408, an act amending Republic Act number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Act of 1999, by expanding the scope of local government units' power over local public transportation systems and for other purposes, authored by Senator Francis Tolentino. At this juncture, please allow the Chair to make this opening statement. Magandang umaga po muli sa inyong lahat, sa ating mga kasama, mga miyembro ng komite ito, lalong-lalo sa ating mga resource persons, lalong-lalo yung mga physically present, no? Manggaling pa kayo sa malayong lugar, may nanggaling ng Isabela, may nanggaling Tacloban, may nanggaling ng Davao Oriental, no? Layo, yung mga taga Metro Manila, nasa virtual lang. So, Anyway, maraming salamat sa mga nag-effort sa inyo pong pagpunta rito. Maraming salamat na rin sa mga resource persons na with us virtually. Pasensya na, hindi ako sanay. Nung nahuli kasi nandito ako, wala pang virtual eh. Di ba? Iba yung nandito, mas na physically present. Unang-una, nais ko pasalamatan ang suporta niyo sa pagtugon sa ating panawagan ngayong araw. Hindi niyo ang mga panungkalang malapit sa ating puso at ang ating pinaliliwanag makakatulong sa pag-ulad ng ating mga kababayan at makapagpapatibay sa paghatid ng mga pangunahing serbisyo sa kanila. Bilang chairperson ng Local Government Committee, ako po ay naniniwala na ang bawat pagdinig natin sa komite ay pagkakataon upang maisayos natin ang pamumuhay ng ating mga kababayan at matulungan ang ating mga LGUs na magkaroon ng kakayahan upang masilbihan nila ang kanilang mga sasakupan. Ang pagdinig na ito ngayon ay hinggil sa dalawang panukala. As I mentioned, una po ang Senate Bill number 395, an act mandating establishment vegetable crop gardens for indigents, appropriating funds therefore, and for other purposes. Layunin po nito ang magkaroon ng mga vegetable crop gardens na pangunahan ng operasyon ng mga sangguniang bayan o sangguniang panlunsod. Ito po ang personal na inihain upang masolusyonan ang food shortage na problema ngayon dahil sa tumataas na presyo ng lahat ng bilihin at upang makatulong na makamta natin ang food security in line with President's direction. Kung atin po matatandaan, isa po sa ating sa paridad ni President Bongbong Marcos ang food security sa bansa, ang ating mapanukala ay pagtugon ang bag sa panawagang ito ng ating Pangulo. Pangalawang Senate Bill number 408, I mentioned earlier, an act amending the Public Act 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Act 1991, expanding the scope of local government units' power over local public transportation systems and for other purposes. Ito po yung ni Senator Tolentino upang malusolusyon ang problema natin sa transportasyon. Layunin ng panukalang batas na ito, bigyan ng dagdag na pang mga LGUs upang sila mismo ay magkaroon ng local transportation networks. Ito ay paraan upang makatuwang natin ang mga LGUs sa issue ng transportasyon. Ang issue ng transportasyon ay malapit sa ating puso dahil ang Unicode ay advocate na magkakaroon maayos sa modernong railway system at iba pang mga transport system sa bansa. Sa pamamagitan ng panukalang inihaan ni Senator Tolentino, mas mapapatibay natin ang ating transportation networks. Ito po ay simula pa lamang ng ating trabaho sa komiteng ito. Hangad ko po ang inyong suporta sa bawat pagdinig at ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong kontribusyon at mga input sa mga panukalang ating pinag-uusapan ngayong araw. Maraming salamat po. That's all here from our resource persons today, starting with the government sector. Para po sa Barangay Food Security Act, Senate Bill number 395, no? Any representative from the ILG? Wala, no?
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Meron po kayong presentation?
Mr. Chair, unfortunately, we have no presentation
Okay.
regarding the,
Sige.
but we will submit our official position paper, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Levanguito, please state your rank for the appreciation of this committee. Ano pong
Yes, Mr. Chair. Thank you again, Mr. Chair, and good morning. Mr. Chair, this department fully supports the legislative measure and we respectfully manifest.
I'm asking Mr. Mingito, ano pong rank nila sa sa DILG para lang for the records of this committee.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I am Attorney 3 from the legal service of the
Legal service.
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
I just have the question. Siguro I have filed Senate Bill number 395 to address the issue of nutrition of more people, especially for indigents who seldom can afford healthy food. Again, siguro, ito na siguro sagot nyo. What is the position for LG for this measure? No? Yung ating Barangay Food Security Act in line with the President's call for the food sufficiency and food security by establishing it in the barangay level. Sige po, yung position po ng DILG,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
this measure.
Yes, Mr. Chair, the Department of the DLG fully supports the legislative measure, and we respectfully manifest that we will submit our position paper regarding the subject bill, considering that we only received a copy of the bill last September 1st, 2022. However, we have some initial clarifications regarding the bill. Uh, in Section 7, Mr. Chair, may we respectfully inquire as to what will be the basis of the Sangguniang concern in selecting the top 10 poorest barangays to become the beneficiaries. Also, how will the Sangguniang will employ the indigents to regular or seasonal work? Is it through an ordinance? And that's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Leo Mangito of the Legal Service. Siguro ang mga challenges dito, tanong ko lang, no? Or I will just bring this up so that you can include it in your position paper. In Section 4 of the bill proposes that the local sangguniang concerned shall provide for a land suitable for growing vegetable crops, which may be idle lands, public parks, public school grounds, or private lands, with the consent of the owner thereof. So, what are the possible challenges that the LGU might face in this implementation? Probably please take note of that and please include that in your position paper. Yun yung challenges natin, no, on how the LGUs will tackle these challenges. And then yung last, thank you, siguro yun lang. Sa DepEd naman, any DepEd representative, meron ba sa ano? Meron ba tayong DepEd representative concept? Okay, so DepEd, any representative from DepEd? Mr. Canlas.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Chair.
Yes, good morning. Siguro please take note of this lang. Probably send us your position paper. If you can answer now, better. If not, you can send it to the committee. Same section provides, yung pong binanggit ko, Section 4, that public school grounds may also be used as municipal or city vegetable crop garden. So I hope you'll take note. I'll ask you if there are similar programs in our school right now that perhaps we can integrate with our proposal. Parang nakita ko before, meron yung mga idle school grounds, yung mga idle lands, we are using it for vegetable farming, diba? Yung mga ganun, baka pwedeng magamit na integrated for this particular measure. Sige po.
Yes, actually, Mr. Chair, just to manifest, the Department of Education is also in full support of this legislative measure. And just to inform the body, Mr. Chair, that actually the DepEd is having its national greening program with the Gulayan sa Paaralan as one of its sub-programs. So actually, what we can do is, with regards to this bill, we can have the Gulayan sa Paaralan wherein a parcel of land is used by our learners to be able to plant vegetable crops or fruit crops. So we can use this actually to be integrated with your legislative measure. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I strongly suggest, no, hopefully sa DepEd na we prioritize this because, you know, in this modern age, especially in sa basic education, our children has to be exposed to farming, to planting. Kasi dati, panahon natin, meron pa nun eh. Ngayon, ang alam na lang ng mga bata, panay computer and Farmville, yun na lang yata ang experience nila sa actual. So, probably yung mga idle lands, marami pa naman siguro public schools, especially in the provinces. Probably, if we can encourage yung vegetable farming, at least magkaroon pa rin appreciation yung ating mga school children. Di ba? Pag yung panay computer at Farmville na lang, at dapat magpahawak sila ng talagang lupa pa rin, tulad natin noong panahon. Okay, thank you. Please submit your position paper to the committee.
Yes, will do, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
DA, meron DA, no? I can see DA as a representative on food security and in relation to the rising prices of these commodities. What are the prospects in respect to ensuring that Filipino households have access to food? So, what are the, how can, sa DA, tingin niyo ba, how can this bill be as a supplement to the President's, in line with the President's food sufficiency and food security program? What's the position of the Department of Agriculture?
Chairman. Po.
Yes, sir. DA Glenn Panganiban.
Yes, sir. Good morning po, Senator. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, and our mga colleagues po natin sa gobyerno at ating mga stakeholders. Ako po si Glenn Panganiban of the Bureau of Plant Industry. Sir, for the proposed bill, we are 100% and more pa po talaga supporting this bill dahil po ito po ay isa sa ating mga kulang din na legislations na dapat i-push, paggamit ng public idle lands, paggamit ng mga lands ng ating mga private owners na nakatiwangwang lang. And regarding, sir, kung ano ang magagawa nito for food security in line with the President's directive, kami po ay also from 2 years ago pa po ay ini-encourage na po natin ito. At atin pong nire-energize ang urban and peri-urban agriculture, sir. Actually, yung sinabi po ng ating DepEd, atin din po silang partner doon sa gulayan sa paaralan, gulayan sa barangay. At ang mga aktibidades po natin, bukod sa pagpamimigay ng seeds at planting materials at pagte-training, kasama din po natin ang Agricultural Training Institute, ay para po talaga dito sa ating mga indigents. Actually, sir, we can submit to the committee yung ating pong statistics on our urban and peri-urban gardens and yung pong ating mga best practices para po ma-consider din po. Sir, if I may tatanong lang din po sana ako about dun sa section 6 natin on the 6 on the resources. Maaari po ba tayo din, sir, makipag-collaborate po with the private sector? Kasi po meron din po tayong mga collaborations sa our dear Senator Ejercito na kagaya po ng mga private sector na tumutulong sa atin, hindi lang po doon sa production, kundi yung sa nutrition din, sa pagluluto. If I may, yung Nestle po, kanina lang po ka-meeting natin. At kasama rin po natin sila, sir, sa mga activities natin, sa mga paaralan, sa mga communities. Marami po tayong mga ganitong partners, sir, eh. So if possible po, sana maisama din po yung ng ating private sector for the support to sustain the initiative, sir. Salamat po.
Thank you. Sir Glenn Panganiban, maraming salamat. Thank you very much for your for the support of the DA on this project. I will go to those who are physically present now. Then nag-raise na ng hand from DA, si Director Rosana Mola.
Good
Ma'am,
morning
please,
po.
you have the floor.
Good morning po sa lahat and good morning to you, Senator. Ganito po, I'm very much, ATI is very much supported with the idea. Meron lang po kaming a few comments and additions which we have submitted to our DA Central. And sususugan ko lang po yung points na ni-raise ni Director Glenn. Unang-una po na comments namin, sana hindi lang po vegetable, but maybe we can include poultry and small ruminants. Kasi meron po naman mga areas that we can really have the provision for livestock. So yun lang po yung number one. And then a few things, kagaya po ng training, that should really be, matagal na rin po namin itong ginagawa at the onset, even before the onset of COVID. So mas how do you call this? Mas na-elaborate and more activities have been undertaken during the pandemic, and we have really seen, meron po kaming mga brief studies, we have seen the contributions of vegetable and home gardens. So very, very important po talaga ito. And apart from that, we saw to it na kailangan talaga po ang training kasi marami din po dito sa urban areas ang hindi po nakakaintindi ng simple technologies by which they can really utilize their small lands and even their small spaces in putting up some food production activities. And importante po sa lahat ang training po ng seed production. Kasi kung wala po itong tulong kung wala po hindi po ito magagawa, we could hardly produce our own seeds. So, in other words, mahihirapan po tayong mag-sustain. So, all these comments we have provided po sa central office, and this will be put together, and maybe I'm sure it will be sent to your office po. Yun lang po, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Rosana Mula, for your interventions, and thank you very much for the support of the DA. No? Siguro we can liken this program to yung 1970s, kung naalala nyo pa. Bata pa naman ako noon. Siguro naalala nyo yun. Green Revolution, naalala nyo siguro yun. Doon sa mga pinanganak ng mas maaga sa ating lahat. No? It's encouraging everybody to plant in the idle lands, in their homes, in their own properties, dun sa mga hindi, para po ma-encourage yung food security. Yung Green Revolution siguro parang in line with this. Okay, so probably can already go to those who are physically present. Thank you again, my appreciation for you for coming over sa malalayong lugar pa. Andito, unahin nga natin si Vice Mayor Dean Anthony Dumalanta, Vice Mayor League President from San Mariano, Isabela. No, salamat, Vice, for coming coming over all the way from Isabela.
Yes.
Siguro I'm okay ba sa inyo itong bill na ito? Siguro can we hear your position?
Yes, good morning, Senator. This is Dean Tumalanta from Isabela, from the Vice Mayor's League. Yeah, that is appropriate po yan, especially ngayon. Then parang continuity ng tinatawag nating barangay gulayan. In our place, tuloy-tuloy po yung may pa-contest pa rin po tayo doon. And this time, under section number 7, the beneficiaries, Mr. Senator, we only limited to 10 poorest barangays. So gusto ko lang malinaw rin ito kasi meron tayong mga provinces or municipalities na maraming barangay, meron din yung konti. So ito lang po, sir, kung limited po ba yan or lahat ng barangay is mandato po na yun po sana, sir. Yun. Kasi pag 10 lang parang mahirap ma-implement. Sa part namin sa LGU, parang magiging selected lang na naman ang dating sa amin.
Sige, Vice.
Ano lang, sa part lang namin sa grassroots lang po. Opo. Aside from that, sir, yung may comment din ako dun sa nasabi kanina, yung sa training. So ito part na rin ng trabaho ng ating mga municipal agriculturists sila yung magpa-training sa part ng mandato po nila po yon. So they will assist us. So given na po yon sa part nila. So thank you po, Mr. Senator.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vice, for coming coming from Isabela. Of course, Isabela is known as the rice granary also, not just like Nueva Ecija, and very much talagang agriculture based ang program natin. So I hope that we can help, especially sa mga idle lands, sa mga bahay. Yun lang siguro may challenge doon, yung as I mentioned earlier, yung mga on how the other like barangays and others can really participate. So at least we can get the support already of the Vice Mayor's League on this particular bill. Again, this is in line with the President's mission and really have yung ating food security. Next, Barangay Captain Eden Pineda, President ng Liga ng mga Barangay from Barangay 16, Tacloban City. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you very much for coming. May hear your position on regarding this particular bill.
Thank you po. Good morning, Senator. I am Eden Chua Pineda po, National President of the Liga ng mga Barangay. So, this is one of the laudable bill po, laudable legislative bill na makakatulong po sa bawat barangay. So, we would fully support this bill at ipapaabot po natin sa lahat ng mga barangay. As the Vice Mayor's League mentioned, and I hope also that the League endorses not only 10 poorest barangay but as well to all barangays para hindi po magkakagulo din kami. Kasi pag may seeds na maibibigay doon sa 10 poorest mahirap po mag-identify kung sino na naman po ang 10 poorest kasi sa mga probinsya po, madami po tayong mga barangays na pwede naman po mataniman para po makatulong din po tayo sa programa na ito. It's not only to the 10 poorest barangay, but as well to all barangays po, we suggest na pwede naman sa backyard gardening po na maisusulong at makakatulong din po kami. So, that is po our position that we will fully support po sa bill na ito. Thank you.
Thank you, President ng Liga ng mga Barangay. No? Maraming salamat po for coming, Barangay Captain Eden Pineda. Thank you very much. At least pareho yung concern po ni Vice Mayor and Liga, National President ng mga Liga ng mga Barangay on yung Section 7 na bakit sa sa 10 poorest, no? We can expand, no, yung beneficiaries. We can expand the coverage para nga hindi magkaroon ng selosan dito. And we mentioned lang yung 10 poorest barangay to prioritize yung poorest population. Parang yun lang yung prioritize. But we can expand. So we'll take care of that. Thank you, Vice. Thank you, President Eden, Barangay Captain Eden, for your comments on this. We'll take note of those. Barangay Captain Rustan Castigliones from Davao Region, from Barangay Poblacion Boston, Davao Oriental, Regional President. Sir, sige, Kapitan, anong natin, position?
Thank you very much, Senator, Mr. Chair. Good morning. Although, unfortunately, Mr. Senator, we don't have yet seen the copy of the full copy of the proposed bill, but definitely and certainly, the Liga ng mga Barangay, we will really support this bill. This is timely talaga ngayon na magkaroon ng batas na ganito, but to address the poverty incidents, yung food sufficiency and food dapat na sa lahat ng mga barangays ay mayroong pagkain. But we have already this program that we practice in our province in Davao Oriental, even before with the past governors and now at the recent governors. We have this program, the so-called FAIT, the FAIT program or the food waste in the table at home. Yun ang encouraging all the households to have their garden, they have their vegetable gardens. And in fact, marami kami mga motivation dyan, Senator, na ginagawa para ma-encourage yung mga tao na magtanim. We even have practiced this into yung pa-contest in barangay. Mayroon din, in every barangay may ma-contest din yung tinatawag na gulayan sa barangay. Para ma-motivate yung mga barangay na magkaroon ng gulayan, na common garden of the barangay, na doon nagtatanim ng mga gulay ang bawat barangay. So binibigyan sila ng mga papremyo. Some measures that we do also, yung Mr. Chair, yung when we extend some assistance, hinihingan namin sila, do you have a garden in your barangay? Before bibigay yung mga assistance, especially yung mga dole-out assistance sa kanila, para naman to encourage them, para bago sila maghingi ng mga certification, for example, from the barangay, tinatanong mo na sila, you must have the next time when you ask a certification or clearance from the barangay, you must have your garden in your home. Kahit maliit lang, yun ang mga measures na ginagawa namin to encourage them. So, Mr. Chair, ang posisyon ng Liga ng mga Barangay, na especially for us on the grounds, for us on the grassroots, we really have to support. This is a very welcome bill for us. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Barangay Captain Rustan Castigliones. So we move on, and we have with us this morning our new Philippine Councilors League National President. Nakilala ko to, si taga Ilocos yata ito, di ba? Si Councilor Andy Lao from Ilocos, if I'm not mistaken. National President Andy, Please, may we hear your position on regarding this bill?
Thank you, Senator JV. Senator, in our position naman po sa Philippine Councilors League, we are so happy about this bill. Probably ikakalat po natin to sa buong Pilipinas mga konsehal na gumawa ng resolution po or just a resolution din po to commend this bill po para suportahan po itong House bill na ito. Dahil napakaganda po dahil lalo na po sa mga provinces po na marami pong space at basta masuportahan lang po naman. Yun din po yung din namin po, doon lang po sa 10 poorest barangay lang po. So kung ma-expand po, siguro by the help of both House bill and probably municipal or city or provincial ordinance na pwede din suportahan din yung iba pang barangay po para collaboration lang po din po, Senator.
Thank you, Konsehal and National President of PCL, Handy. Anyway, you come from Ilocos Norte, tama?
Yes po, Senator. I am from Lawag, Ilocos Norte.
From Lawag. That's good because this is in line with President Bongbong Marcos's directive, no, na yung food security and food sufficiency. Anyway, the intent of this law, this bill, really is to make use of idle lands. Kaya nga humingi tayo ng tulong sa lahat ng liga, from barangay to vice mayors, to councilors, hopefully yung municipalities and cities later on. So thank you very much for your support and we take note of that. Yung 10 poorest barangays, we will try to expand para I think ngayon parang kailangan talaga natin gumawa lahat ng paraan dahil sa hirap ng buhay, sa mahal na bilihin, but also in support of President BBM sa directive. So thank you. Andy, thank you very much for your position. We'll just wait for that siguro sa pag-submit sa inyong committee. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po, Senator.
Last resource persons for this measure from DOST, Dr. Domingo Angeles. Sir, you have the floor.
Maraming po salamat, Senator, and magandang umaga sa lahat. I prepared some comments and recommendations on this bill. Allow me to read it, Mr. Senator.
Please go ahead, po.
Okay. The title of the bill is about vegetable garden. While it is an approach to address food insecurity among the indigent households, the establishment of vegetable garden may be too specific. The better and more encompassing approach is to establish a communal garden where the community participates in growing crops to meet the household food and nutritional needs. DA has been supporting vegetable gardening through its urban agriculture program and through the high value crops program. Some progressive municipalities and cities are implementing successful community vegetable gardens, and I think we should learn from these experiences. Even the Food Always in the Home or FAITH program, as mentioned earlier, of then Governor Joey Lina of Laguna, is a remarkable program to ensure household food security. The community garden may be established in available vacant spaces, public or private, and will be used for the purpose according to existing laws. A minute. In case of public land or subject to lease or any appropriate agreement with the owner if it is private land. The land for community garden will be identified by the municipal city agriculturist and its use for the purpose will be subject to approval of the municipal city mayor. The community garden may be established and managed by A, the municipal city agricultural office, or B, through a community organization. In both A and B, plots within the garden can be individually allocated to interested community residents with priority given to senior citizens, women, and the youth. Or in case where there are no interested residents, the community garden can be established and maintained by paid farm workers. Various production systems may be adapted according to the choice of the farmer resident. These include, but not limited to, container production system, soilless culture, hydroponics. Hydroponics lang kasi po yung na-mention dun sa bill, conventional gardening, and vertical gardening. While the municipal agriculturists will identify the best crops according to existing agroecological conditions of the municipality and the crop's nutritional quality, it is better for the farmer and to decide what crop to raise in the community garden according to his cultural preference. The seeds and other inputs may be provided by the community organization identified to establish or manage the farm with matching fund from the local government, or in case of the municipal city government establishes it, it should directly provide the necessary support system to the farmer or package fund support. Therefore, the municipality city can provide technical support and conduct training programs according to the needs of the community, organization, or individual farmers. The program should provide infrastructure such as irrigation facility, nursery, composting facility, packaging area to ensure farm press quality before the vegetables reach the household table. I should emphasize that the household community food security is not alone determined by food availability, but also by food accessibility, utilization, and stability. The community vegetable garden should also comply with existing laws on the use of agrochemicals, if agrochemicals will be used, to protect the environment. And the municipality should steward community gardens on judicious use of these agrochemicals. We at NRCP, by the way, I am the Vice Chair of the Agriculture and Forestry Division of National Research Council of the Philippines of the OST. We are supportive of this measure. Thank you, Mr. Senator. We will send
Thank you,
you the...
Thank you, Dr. Domingo Angeles.
Yes.
Siguro, this bill envisions the use of modern technology and scientific mechanisms in the establishment of vegetable crop gardens such as hydroponic, na nabanggit nyo kanina, and vertical gardening. Siguro, tanong lang natin, is the DOST ready to provide the LGUs with assistance to capacitate them in using modern mechanisms, especially in the areas where there is lack of sufficient space for the garden, even in the areas where the soil is not suitable for cultivation of or growing of crops. Kasi siguro, Dr. Angelo, siguro kung yung no, sa Israeli model, tandaan yung Israel, wala silang kulang ng space dahil napapaligiran sila ng makalaban, kulang ang kanilang land, yung tubig po nila, they don't have abundant fresh water, salty, pagkakalam mo, salty ang kanilang tubig, no? Konti ng fresh water, but they were able to develop their agricultural industry through the use of modern technology. So, paano po can the DOST be able to assist the LGUs in participating in using modern mechanisms for the...
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and we join with Director Mula on this regard.
Thank you po. Thank you, Dr. Angeles. I think that will be good, no? Na talagang to at least be able to use modern farming methods so that kahit na walang space, di ba, we will be able to maximize what is the available space that our soil that is that can be used. So, again, what are the current programs of DOST? So, meron pa tayong current programs that are being used, Dr. Angeles, regarding food production or food technology, which could help solve our challenges on food shortage and lack of access.
Well, we are in continuous research to determine the best ways of farming, including the best method of fertilizer application. Maybe you have heard of the use of microbial fertilizer. The DOST is supporting it very much so that we can reduce the use of inorganic fertilizer. DOST is also conducting and has, I think, produced biocontrol agents which can be used to control pest. Alam po naman natin na kapag tayo nagtatanim ng gulay or halaman, hindi maiiwasan na magkakaroon ng peste, and so that we can minimize the use of agrochemicals. Kaya we are developing alternative technologies to manage nutrient requirements and control pest of these plants. We have the SNAP hydroponic system. This is a household setup, no? To grow plants hydroponically, no? Where nutrient solutions are prepared and crops, leaf-bearing, and even some fruit-bearing vegetable crops can be grown, requiring minimal space, Mr. Senator. We also support what Dr. Mula mentioned about community livestock and even fishery, no? Meron hong mga ganyan na production systems na po pwedeng i-adapt sa mga maliliit na area lamang. And kaya ko po na-propose na community garden kasi this will ensure cooperation, harmony, among the communities, no? Instead of simply individual household garden, which is okay, no? Pero yun na nga, mas maganda kasi kung gusto kong magtanim ng papaya within the garden, alam naman natin pwedeng pangulay yan, pwedeng for fresh fruit or calamansi. We can do that also. At saka yung pong support, marami pong mga technical support na kailangan din dito kagaya din po ng halimbawa composting facility, kasi by any measure talagang magkakaroon po tayo ng household waste, waste from the communal garden or household garden. So mas maganda nga ho yung sa tingin ko lang, Mr. Senator, mas maganda yung parang communal garden kasi pwede natin pag-ipon-ipunin yung community or residents in one common farm, and lahat ng facilities supporting of this project can be put up therein. Anyway, we will submit to you, Mr. Senator, our written position paper on this. Salamat po.
Thank you, Dr. Angeles. Salamat. We appreciate your inputs, no, for this measure. Siguro last but not the least, before we move on, siguro we will still need yung mga physically present dun sa next bill. Total, mabilis lang ito tungkol sa transport, LGU Public Transportation Act. Siguro si PCLNP Hanbi is still there, no? Last but not the least, sa DBM, siguro, hindi ko nakalin. Submit na lang po yung inyong position, yung tungkol po sa funding on how we will be able to support this program. Wala, no? So, again, thank you very much for all the resource persons, lalo na sa DA, sa DOST, and others, no? Maraming salamat po sa, sige, probably you can be excused already. We will now go to the next measure. The other leagues will still be, kailangan pa naman kayo dito, no? Yung Senate Bill number 408, Public Transportation Act by Senator Francis Tolentino, no? Yung nabanggit po ko natin kanina. Yung salient features. Objective to expand the powers of the LGUs over transportation systems through loans, grants, capital investments, partnerships, and joint ventures with both private and public institutions or entities, whether domestic or international, for the conceptualization, establishment, and operation and maintenance of transportation system. So ito po yung natin in line with the president's priority, yung infrastructure development, no? Railway system, highways, airports. Siguro yung LGUs can also support, no? Yung by localizing, kumbaga parang ito na yung mag-feed doon sa mga main arteries or main backbone. Sila yung magiging arteries pala. Okay, nandito ang DOTR, so we'll get your position later. The LG, siguro ito, probably we can ask, andiyan pa ba yung sa DLG?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Good morning again.
Hi, good morning, Attorney. The proposed bill significantly requires the involvement of LGUs in public transportation. Is there already any existing public transportation project or program that the DOTR or the DILG partnered with any LGU that have the same features as proposed by this bill? If there is, can you please explain, enumerate kung meron man, Attorney?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. As of now, we have not yet formulated any partnership with the DOTR regarding the LGU transport. However, we respectfully manifest here that considering that the DOTR is the main, has the power to formulate and recommend the implementation of the transport system in the national and regional and local levels, we respectfully manifest that the DOTR should be the primary implementing agency for the proposed measure. However, we will submit our position paper in our office, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Yes, that is correct. Of course, the OTR and DPWH is tasked to undertake the main infrastructure development. So siguro sa atin yung mga on how the LGUs can supplement or complement. I think sa meron dito sa Leo noon sa Makati, nakita ko they will have their own subway system na LGU funded or siguro nag-loan sila. So I think ito yung magiging kung paano yung mga magiging arteries, no, para doon sa main transport hubs. So yun lang siguro. Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you,
So,
Mr. Chair.
because this proposed bill authorizes LGUs to venture into the transport sector through loans, grants, and capital investments. Siguro probably yung parang sa Makati na model, no? They will undertake their own subway system. Probably other LGUs can do that as well. So sa PCL, Vice Mayor League and other leagues, the proposed bill shall require your direct involvement, assistance in the establishment of public transportation sa LGU level, no? And inter-LGU level. May we hear from our local officials on their comments on this bill. Si Vice, masimula ka na. Dito na ka na rin lang.
Yes, sir.
I'll take advantage of your presence.
Yes, thank you again for the opportunity, sir. Siguro sa part ng legislative, we encourage na i-update and i-review ulit yung transportation ordinances para ma-update po sa ngayong situations. So with this Senate Bill 408, in the meantime, wala pa kaming masyadong position dito, but we will support, of course, both this one and the other Senate Bill. Thank you, Mr. Senator.
Thank you, Vice. Maraming salamat sa suporta nyo. Again, this is in line again with the President's push for the transport sector. Dapat makatulong din tayo. Yung sa mga feeder siguro sa main line. So siguro si National President Eden of Liga ng mga Barangay.
Thank you po, Senator. We support the passing of this bill, though the intermunicipality transport system is vested on the municipal mayors. But in the event that there is a necessity for a certain barangay local government unit to assist through an ordinance, that the barangay local government unit will readily support as mandated to support all the national and local government programs in the countryside. Thank you po.
Thank you, National President. Si Kapitan Rustan Castellones, taga Davao, you will have your own Mindanao Railway System. Yung Davao to Dagu, mauna na, no? So, probably yung mga LGUs, pwedeng mag-propose tayo, nagkaroon ng parang supplement, no? Yung mga transport, no? To go with the, na madikit natin doon sa main Mindanao Railways.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Senator. Again, tama po yun, Mr. Senator. We are really happy, taga Davao, taga Mindanao, because of the yung development na magkaroon na ng railway system ang Mindanao. And this will also complement and this to our first bill, yung food sufficiency and food security. Kasi pag mayroon tayo, paano natin dadalhin yung mga pagkain kung wala tayong connectivity? So, very timely, these two bills, dapat ito ay suportahan. Sa part naman ng mga on the grassroots sa amin, we really have to support this bill kasi at the end of the day, ang makikinabang dito yung nasa, especially on the GDAS area, yung sa GDAS. Makikinabang talaga kami dito, sir. Thank you very much.
Actually, tama ho yun, Kapitan, no? In line with the food security, kasama rin po ito. Yun yung intention din ng Mindanao Railway System, no? We will have, sabi ko nga, sa mga tinutulak ko nun, kasama din pag-establish ng food terminals sa bawat railway station, sa bawat probinsya. No? So, hindi lang business, hindi lang commercial areas. We will have food terminals in all stations. So, importante yung pagdala ng mga food production, lalo na yung mga palay, sugar, lahat, no? To bring it sa food terminals. So, yun yung dapat establish siguro ng mga league. So, hindi lang sa Mindanao, sa Ilocos, sa lahat din. So, yung pagdadala ng mga goods going to the food terminals, 'di ba? Para maging ma-lower down natin cost ng transport, at least makalaban na rin yung agri-products natin kasi isa sa mga problema natin, mataas ang transport of goods. So I think ito yung idea ni Senator Tolentino with that, no? Hindi lang for mass transit but also for the food, for the produce na madala sa food terminals. Thank you. Next, probably, andito na rin si PCL President, National President. Sunod na natin DOTR, NEDA, and the League of Cities. Nandito na rin lang po si sunod namin ho kayo, no? Is he still around? Si Konsehal, National President Handy? I saw him earlier eh. Kung wala, siguro, ayan, si PCL National President Handy, and then we go to the League of Cities. Council Handy, you now have the floor. Kung ano yung tingin nyo rito sa bill po ni Senator Tolentino.
Sorry po, Senator. Well, Senator, okay naman po kami dun sa House bill po ni Senator Tolentino. We will be supporting this bill, as I've said, as the House bill po kaninang nauna, ganun din po ang gagawin namin for support po, Senator.
Thank you, National President Handy. I think this will help yung bring the produce of Ilocos Norte, no, para madala natin sa mga main hub, sa mga food terminal. So, yun ang objective. So, salamat sa support nyo.
Yes po, Senator.
Thank you, National President Handy. So, we go to the League of Cities. Ma'am, please identify yourself.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry about my voice. I'm doing self-quarantine right now. I am exhibiting some symptoms of COVID. I should have been there, but I don't want to spread the virus, sir.
Thank you for joining us, nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm Veronica Hitosis. I'm the Executive Director of the League of Cities of the Philippines. As regards the Senate Bill number 408 of Senator Tolentino, we have yet to come up with an official position paper, Mr. Chair, but rest assured that we will sponsor this during our General Assembly this November at Shangri-La the Fort in Taguig to rally the support of the city mayors, because it's trailblazing as it is written right now, especially, Mr. Chair, the part where the sub-sovereign guarantee is being removed. As you would know, in transportation and mobility projects really require massive infrastructure investment. So hindi po yan mura, sir. So important po talaga yung access sa capital markets, especially with the private sector joining in. And napansin ko lang po, sir, while we don't have a position paper, we were able to go around the interlocal cooperation, especially on lines 17 to 31, that we really want local government units to rally together, join forces to ensure that we have enough resources to build a more responsive transport system. We, unlike DILG po, sa League of Cities, we have a project before funded by the World Bank on traffic and transport management. At across the board, Mr. Chair, yung issue talaga is yung financing. Hindi po nga kasi siya mura to build a comprehensive and connected transport system. It's good that the OTR is here because at the national level and I think coming up with a policy, this bill of Senator Tolentino would address the financial issues, why we have not non-interconnected modalities in terms of our transport system. We will submit our official position paper, Mr. Chair, but rest assured that we will rally the support of the cities as regards this bill of Senator Tolentino. And we appreciate that in Section 9 that LCP and other leagues are part of the team that will craft the implementing rules and regulations. Sana po doon din, boss, sa inyong vegetable gardens, masama kami doon sa pag-draft ng IRR. Because just like what DOST and DAR shared, there are already good practices in cities. I think there's a Davao representative po, but Tagum City, they do the communal. I think, Mr. Chair, at the scale po of the communal gardens, mas less po yung spoilage. Minsan po kasi when we pre-choose na kung sino yung magbe-benefit ng mga naani sa vegetable gardens, minsan po nabubulok kasi indigent lang po. And note lang po, yung mga indigent, minsan po wala po yun sa poor barangays, no? Minsan po yung mga indigent po natin, nandun din sa mga affluent barangays. So, I think these two bills, your bill, Mr. Chair, and the bill of Senator Tolentino is really taking us away from our comfort zones as regards how we provide better services to our constituents. Kaya po, join ko na po yung ibang mga liga that rest assured that we will support these endeavors that you are championing at the Senate. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, our Executive Director, Veron Hitosis, for joining us. And likewise, we'll just wait for the position of the League of Cities regarding these two measures. Yung sa vegetable, I think, yes, I agree that the LCP can also be can also implement this, no? Kaya naman natin, especially doon sa mga cities in the provinces that have big tracts of land that can be used. Thank you, and also for the bill of Senator Tolentino. Thank you very much, ma'am. Now we can go with the OTR. Please identify yourself. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Lemar Jimenez po, Supervising Communication Development Officer of the Department of Transportation and Communications. We have already submitted our position paper, Mr. Chairman, and we support the proposed bill. As a matter of fact, to give clarification on your previous query, we have already partnered with DILG and local government units on transportation programs and projects, and one of that is the PUB modernization program, wherein the local government units are requested to come up and formulate a local public transport route plan to integrate their local plans with their other local plans. And we have also other projects with LGU, such as the Davao modernization, public transport modernization program, and the Cebu BRT projects, wherein we have partnered with LGUs And with that, Mr. Chairman, we also recognize the need that there should be a partnership with LGU and the national government in the development of our transport system in addressing the different level of movements of people from city, municipal level, provincial level, and regional and national level. So kailangan po talaga natin magtulungan para ma-develop po talagang maayos at magandang transportasyon para po ma-resolve po yung traffic congestion dahil sa ganitong paraan lang po na magbibigay ng mas mabuting at mas magandang alternatibo na masasakyan ng tao, ma-address po natin yung traffic congestion. Mas makukumbinsi po natin na sumakay sa public transport instead na private vehicle po ang mga tao. Thank you po.
Thank you. Sa ating DOT representative, si Lemar Jimenez, ano yung jeepney modernization, yung POE modernization, that's in line, that's DOTR projects with the LGUs. At saka yung Makati nga, di ba? Meron silang sariling subway. So ito yung ano yan. So, pwede monorail, railway, subways, cable cars, trams, bus, BRT sa Cebu, and the public mobile jeepneys. Oh. So thank you for your for your position paper. Last yung sa NEDA and then probably DBM kung ano lang yung kanilang position regarding this bill. Sa NEDA, Ma'am Crisel.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Clear naman po ba, sir?
Clear naman. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Crisel Santos.
Yes, sir. I am Crisel Santos, Division Chief of the Transport Division of the Infrastructure Staff of NEDA. I am tasked today, sir, to read our position paper, which we submitted yesterday. We hope the committee secretariat received with all the attachments. So NEDA supports, Mr. Chairman, the intent of this legislation, which is to expand the powers of the LGU over transportation systems. And we are focusing right now on mass transportation. This is consistent with the strategy of moving more people than vehicles, which is in the National Transport Policy. And it is also expanded in the IRR of the National Transport Policy, Mr. Chairman. We'd like to say also that this proposed amendment is in line with the implementation of the Mandanas-Garcia ruling, which is the full devolution of functions to the local government in accordance with the EO 138. So this intends to develop the capacities of local governments to deliver basic social services, including transportation services. And this would expand the fiscal space of LGUs for the implementation of infrastructure projects. I would like to flag, Mr. Chairman, that there are already existing laws, issuances, and policies which allow LGUs to pursue such projects. As mentioned, there are joint ventures which facilitated the Makati Subway project, and there are PPPs, options for PPP. The details of this options are found in the attachment of our letter. It's quite lengthy, so I will not discuss na lang po. We'd like to recommend also, Mr. Chair, some for inclusion or consideration in the draft legislation, if I may be allowed to continue reading our comments, we'd like to propose limiting the provision of mass transportation systems at the provincial and city LGU level, considering the magnitude of mass transit projects in terms of capital requirements and spatial coverage. But we recognize, Mr. Chairman, that there is also, of course, an option for the LGUs to consolidate and coordinate their efforts, services, and resources. To continue, Mr. Chairman, we'd like to have the legislation still consider conditions that wherein the national government will be required to intervene. So some examples would be the issuance of environmental clearances, addressing the matters affecting national security, and ensuring alignment with the national development plans. There are also proposed and ongoing projects of national government agencies like the OTR, and we agree that this should complement the proposed projects of the LGUs. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, I would like to include a requirement for the conduct of pre-investment studies, feasibility studies for the proposed projects, and also the participation of concerned national agencies like DOTR and NEDA in such studies. So that's all, Mr. Chairman. The details are in the attachment of our letter of September 7. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crisel Santos. Yung pong tanong ko lang yung halimbawa sa Makati, no? Of course, Makati is capable. Yung pong kanilang subway system project was, of course, may siguro to, meron naman siguro NEDA, approval.
Mr. Chairman, in the case, yun pong sa alam ko po, no, for that project, although it's not specific in our letter, in the case of the Makati Subway, it was implemented as a joint venture of the LGU, which is not covered by the NEDA JV guidelines. So NEDA did not approve po the project, but we were involved in when it was submitted to FIRB at the DOF. And we know of the project because we received information after the JV, but not the approval, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Crisel Santos. Thank you very much. Salamat din po sa inyong position paper for this. Next will be DBM. Sino po yung sa DBM?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. This is Perpetual Judea Kiason po of DBM. Sir, we are yet to submit the official position paper of the DBM on the bills, but we will submit it as soon as we have finalized and it's signed by the Secretary. For Senate Bill 408, sir, we recognize the intent of the bill to expand the scope of LGU's powers over local public transportation system. It is noted that under Section 33 of the Local Government Code, it allows cooperative undertakings among LGUs, and they may group themselves, consolidate, or coordinate their efforts, services, and resources for purposes commonly beneficial to them. As to the proposals in the bill, we would defer to the DILG and other government agencies concerned and to the leagues of LGUs to determine the propriety of the proposal and to establish the financial and technical capability of the LGUs to sustain funding and continuous implementation of the project, sir. So that's all for now, and we will submit the official DBM position, sir, later po.
Thank you, Madam Perpetual Judea Kiason. Salamat po. Just with the committee will just wait for the position paper of the DBM. Maraming salamat po. Sa DOST, sige, before we wrap up, sa DOST, meron mo kayo regarding this measure filed by Senator Tolentino on Public Transportation Act.
Yes, sir, if I may, Honorable Chair.
Yes, please, please proceed. Ano pong what can yung DOST, what's the position regarding this proposed bill by Senator Tolentino about Public Transportation Act?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm Manilo Peña from the Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development under the Department of Science and Technology. I don't know if our formal position paper already reached your office, but let me just indicate that the DOST is in support with the bill and with some recommendations to state. It is recommended that there should be consultation at the regional level in terms of provisions of mass transport system to address geographical and political boundaries and challenges during the implementation. Likewise, we encourage to use the locally developed mass public transportation system developed locally by the Department of Science and Technology, like the hybrid electric trains. Second is ensure that the local public transport route plan prepared by the local government unit is considered in the consolidation and identification of intermodal terminals, including logistical supply terminals. Katulad po ng nabanggit nyo kanina, Honorable Chair, yun pong ating mga food terminals dapat na-considered as part of the intermodal system. Third is the proposed amendment should also consider the newly approved Electric Vehicle Industry Act, or EVIDA law, to ensure that the electric vehicle and charging stations are included. The comprehensive roadmap for the electric vehicle industry program are aligned to the goal of the proposed amendment. Lastly, the urban green routes or urban green spaces and metropolitan growth centers should be emphasized, as these are the parameters in identifying and determining the public transport mode to be developed in the particular areas. That's all for the DOST, Honorable Chair, and we'll coordinate with our central office. This is formally submitted to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Nilo Peña. Next, the last but not the least, for the agencies, DPWH, are they still around? DP? Online? Still online? Ayan po, si Eric. Ana.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you and good morning. On the part po of the DPWH, we have already submitted our position paper and we are truly supportive of the two bills, Senate Bill 395 and 408, in its approval. Thank you po and good morning, Senator.
Salamat. Thank you, Sir Eric Epan of DPWH. Last na. Gina Perez from Olongapo City, Council yata. Thank you very much for joining us also this morning. Salamat po. Any manifestation? If ma'am.
Hi, Senator. Good morning.
Morning.
Opo, we are, of course, fully supporting your bills regarding the improvement of the transportation sector in all areas nationwide. In fact, this representation is also pushing for the adoption of the electronic vehicles so that we could save on the transportation for the energy. As we all know, napakamahal ho talaga ng presyo ng mga fuel ho natin ngayon, and of course yung kuryente. Dito na lang po sa amin sa Olongapo, ang laki ho ng rates ng kuryente nirereklamo ho ng aming mga mamamayan. So yung para po sa mga vehicles ho natin, malaki ho ang tulong yan, and would like to announce as well to you that former PCL National President and LMP National President Luis Chavez Singson has a partner with Korean company. So nais po nilang tumulong din sa mga local government units para po mailagay ang mga electric vehicles na makakatulong for mass transportation, and they'll be providing in fact para assistance nyo na rin po yung mga stations kung saan pwede pong mag-charge doon yung mga electric vehicles na ito. So of course, ako po'y dating miyembro ng advocacy group ng Philippine Councilors League. Definitely po open po ang mga local legislators on these kinds of legislation, Senator. Mabuhay po kayo. Maraming salamat po.
Kasi Gina, thank you very much for your for your advocacy. No, it's in line with my personal advocacy yung sa transportation talaga, infra development. Maraming salamat. And I know sa Olongapo, may malaking problema natin dyan sa electricity. No? Mukhang napakamahal because of the problem with yung loan yata. Sana maayos natin very soon. Okay, so thank you very much. Ma'am, again, we wrap up already. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the chair. Would like to thank all the resource persons, whether virtually and physically present. Maraming salamat sa inyong mga inputs. Maraming salamat sa inyong mga manifestations. Maraming salamat to those especially who came from the far-flung areas. No? Vice Mayor from Isabela, Dean Damalanta, Ma'am Eden, ating National President ng Liga ng mga Barangay, Kapitan Rustan Castillones, taga Tacloban, taga Davao, or taga Davao pa, no? So maraming salamat. And to all those who are present virtually, maraming salamat sa inyo pong lahat ng inputs. Hopefully with this, with your interventions this morning, this will greatly help shape these two measures that are on the table. Ma'am, meron kayo before we end, si League of Cities, ED Veron Hitosis, meron pa kayo? Ma'am?
Thank you lang po, Mr. Chair. Thank you lang. Thank you also for inviting us and soliciting our insights. Thank you.
Thank you. So with that, again, thank you very much all the resource persons. Maraming salamat. This hearing is now adjourned. Maraming salamat.